Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Techtonica. So between episodes, I have done a lot of work getting the materials prepared to upgrade this terminal, and I've already gotten all the process units and the power reserves done. I've also gotten over halfway done with the copper frames, and I'm making good progress on the iron frames as well as the Mark II belts. And that results from all of this extra production. As you can see, we now have 2 floors of production, and I have spent a lot of time getting this set up. So I'm going to give a little bit of a tour of what I've done. The first thing that I've done is I've basically duplicated the Kindlevine planter setup with Shiverthorn seeds up here. I just realized I have an extra seed in my inventory for some reason. And so I've basically duplicated that up here. And at the moment, I don't have enough Shiverthorn seeds to have all of these planters going, but it doesn't matter that much because these threshers aren't working that much anyways because I'm completely backed up on the Shiverthorn extract, which is what we're using to produce Shiverthorn coolant. That Shiverthorn extract, along with iron components and limestone, is is what's making the Shiverthorn coolant. That Shiverthorn coolant is coming over here to make cooling systems as well as the Mark II belt. So I've basically entirely transferred over from the Mark I belts to the Mark II belts, which is actually helpful. But as you can see, all of the belts for the most part, except in a couple of important spots, like right here, is still the Mark I belt. What else have I done? Moved the science thing over a bit. We're now making the blue research cores, and the blue research cores to produce take 3 of the purple, 4 processing units, and 2 cooling systems. And so at the moment, I just have these things collecting over here, and then I am just manually taking them to this assembler to produce the blues. Because at the moment I am trying to get the Mark II mining drills, and that requires 80 blue signs. So I was 20 over, which is actually a good thing. That means I overestimated, but I'm at 30 right now, so I need another 50 blue signs, and they just take a while to produce. What else have I done? As you can see, I now have like this belt highway kind of thing coming over from this over here, where I'm producing all of the like basic components now, pretty much. And here's the iron and copper frames. The issue that I'm having is fuel for the mining drills and the smelters. I do still have that bio brick setup very small over here, but it doesn't produce enough um, fuel to consistently fuel up all of my miners. And so I can get a handful of these things going at a time, but I can't get all of them going. And so I basically have to focus on copper or iron at a time. And then it doesn't help that I also set up a limestone mine over here, mining limestone. There's some. And that's taking even more fuel. If you guys didn't know, you can actually mine out the ore vein from the rock, and you could get more miners on it. So the way that I have this set up currently, I could even put another set of limestone miners on this side, and I would end up having 12 miners in total going on the limestone, which is probably going to be necessary because those Shiverthorn coolant manufacturers use 7 limestone per, and so I'm just chugging out the limestone, and I just don't have the fuel to do that. What else have I done? I think that's about it for the most part, except expanding the floors and everything. But there's one thing that I did do that I was waiting to start recording this video for, and that is right here. I made a tunnel from the main base to the waterfall, or the hydro plant. That's what I'm gonna start calling it. So I could move the cable that I have going around into this tunnel, but I noticed that there were some blue thingies in here, or green thingies, I mean. And green, if you can tell, means base. So I mined over this way into this tunnel that was here, or this previous cave, and Lord of Old, there's a whole nother little base down here. And I haven't checked this out, so I don't even know what we need. Just 100 Atlantum ore and 200 cooling systems. So I could absolutely do this. This is...
Facility access door unavailable.
I
Refer
want to get
display
into
panel for
this.
self-repair requirements.
I want to get into this episode. But where's the way out? But that means I need Atlantum ore, and I don't want to blow up anymore because I'm not sure if I will be able to get Atlantum. I think there's, if you saw in like the little jumpy explosion bits, there's light green ore and like the actual vein as well as the rocks around it. And I was blowing up the rocks but leaving the vein whenever I could. Like the explosives wouldn't blow up the vein, so hopefully that's good enough. But since we need Atlantum, I figured I would figure out how the Atlantum processing works. And so the first thing that you have to do is you have to throw Atlantum ore in a thresher. And that gives you this Atlantum powder. You then have to mix Atlantum powder, Kindlevine extract, and Shiverthorn extract, and that will give you Atlantum mixture. You then need to smelt the Atlantum mixture, and that is how you get Atlantum bars. So it's a very long process. And it takes the smelter, it was basically one biobrick fuel per Atlantum ingot. So this is going to take forever to smelt 1400 Atlantum ingots. So that really means that I need to redo this biobrick setup. These 52 biobricks that I'm getting every minute or whatever it is just so not enough to continue supporting this base. And that's one thing that I am missing from this game is electric mining. It really sucks that I can't use electric mining drills because I have plenty of power. I'm producing over double what I'm currently using. Of course, all my machines aren't at the same time, but just clicking this on every once in a while will double my power, and I could easily go back to the hydro plant and set up another set of water things. I can't use that power to mine, and so I have to constantly be making bio bricks and shuffling these bio bricks to and from the mines, and that is honestly really frustrating. I'm sure, of course, there's a way to automate this process more. Like, I'm sure I could have a bio brick conveyor going to all my miners and everything, but I don't want to do that. That would be a pain, especially because I need two what are they called? Inserters coming out of the miners in order to continue, or in order to properly feed the furnace as well as to extract from the miner. And so of course I could use this one here, but that means I need a ton of junctions dropping in biobricks into every miner, and I'm now stuck. And I just really wish that we had electric mining. I think it's an oversight to not give us access to electric mining for whatever reason. Maybe the Mark II can use electricity? I'm really hoping it does, because then I will basically just immediately switch over from the Mark 1s to the Mark 2s. But until then, like, I have to constantly be checking my production of bio bricks, because if I don't have a good enough spread of iron ore and copper ore production, my entire base crawls to a halt and I can't produce anything. And it's really frustrating because I can't just like I don't want to go AFK and just let all my productions like fill up to the max. But it would be nice to if I were to go, I don't know, eat a meal or get a drink or something that I don't have to worry about my entire base shutting down. And I will say, at least as far as I am into this game, that's the biggest complaint I have about this. I don't even care about the research cores piling up on the ceiling. I always think it's a cool look because that means you have to designate a spot for it. Like I'm currently just using this entire back area of the caves in order to do that. But I still can't produce these because I don't have miners that are constantly active. Anyways, that's enough about that rant. But right now, what I'm going to be doing is my next project is I'm going to expand biobrick production. So I might have went on that rant a little bit too early because now that I have finally unlocked in the tech tree miners mark 2, I can now see that you can make them and they require 900 kilowatts of power. So good thing is that we can now use power. Bad thing is they use a lot of power. But that is fine because guess what? We can make more for the what at the hydro plant. We can make more. Um, and I just had to come over and get some more Atlantum ore because I have 22, but I'm going to need. It says 10 ingots in order to make my first drill. And once I make my first drill, then I don't have to worry about doing this stupid explosive mining anymore. But as you can tell, I'm really running out of Atlantum ore, at least in this area. And this is the only area that I've really found good deposits of Atlantum. I'm sure there's some elsewhere, but of course I can't zoom out on the map very far. And this is all I can really see is this area down here, by where we found what's his name, Paladin, is that his name? But it looks like there's two of them. Well, I was talking about these things right here. There's two Atlantum veins here, this one and this one. So hopefully that's enough. And if I need more, I can hopefully find it somewhere. But what I'm going to have to do is finally expand out the water wheel setup to get more power. And hopefully this is enough Atlantum ore in order to get at least a single mining drill down. The one feature that I would really like uh, to be added is a way to sort of control how much is input into a specific um, inventory. Uh, like being able to limit how much goes into an inventory because I don't want an entire inventory full of limestone or plant matter or whatnot. Like that just is unnecessary. Um, there, that's fine there. Especially of like the our plant matter or the wood frames or whatever they are, which we're currently producing. Like I don't need 5 inventory and 5,000 worth of them. That's just ridiculous. It's unnecessary. So being able to limit that production to only like, I don't know, 10 stacks rather than 30 stacks would significantly reduce the amount that I end up having to produce and save a lot of resources because I don't have any use for that much stuff. And I can spend that power and effort and resources elsewhere. I think that's just some quality of life stuff that I would like to have. I'm sure if you've looked at their development schedule, quality of life will be coming. I think that's the first set of updates that they have planned. So hopefully it won't be too long before that sort of stuff gets added. But we now have power here. And I want to try and get as many drills on this as possible. And we need the voltage stepper, which I just made, wherever that thing is at. Should be in here somewhere. There it is. Put that there as well. And then we just need to get the cables, which should be simple. And we'll just plug it straight into there. Get this rock out of the way. Collect that. Perfect. Right through the gap I made. And so now this thing is mining. It mines super quickly. That's good to see. But I don't have any space. I have a ton of limestone and plant matter on me because I was doing work. But yeah, so that's great. I don't know if this is a bug, but when you go into the inventory of these converters, it says maximum charge 165. But when you look at it, if you notice down here in the bottom left corner, it says producing 150 kilowatts. And so I don't know if these water wheels are producing 165 or 150. And I also don't know which direction is the right direction because I looked at this one. The way the water is flowing, this would be the correct direction. But these, these are obviously going the wrong way, but they still work just fine. And so I don't know if I need to have them the right direction, but as far as I can tell, it doesn't matter what direction the water wheels are, they still work just fine. I've decided that after I get the monorail systems tech, I am absolutely getting quicker assembling machines and quicker threshing because they're fairly cheap. Where is it? They're fairly cheap, but it will give it a 50% increase. So it's only a third, 2/3 of the time, which is kind of necessary. These fans take forever to produce, but what is in
This is
here?
some kind of medical facility. It was pretty rare that people got sick or hurt, but better safe than sorry. And we should be able to find a few upgrades in mint condition because of it.
It's a logbook from Lancet, maybe? I think that was the name I saw. There's these stack inserters and crank generator Mark IIs. It looks like we probably weren't supposed to be in here as early, but I love that. I'm guessing in the tech tree, what comes after fast inserters is probably stack inserters then. So that's going to be very helpful. I don't know what that is. Medical protocols. Okay. That's it for that room. This looks fancy. Anything to scan in here?
We used to get irritating notifications on our suits if we didn't spend enough of our free time with these vitamin D lights. A friend whose name and face I can't remember anymore showed me how to disable them. I think I'll go ahead and disable the notifications on yours, too. As far as I'm concerned, your vitamins are your business.
Looks like somebody was getting some x-rays done. Somebody had... That might be scoliosis. That looks like a hip replacement. I think that's a knee, so maybe some sort of knee surgery. Something by the skull, by the jawline, so maybe, I don't know what that would have been. What's the arm one? Is it broken? I can't tell. I don't know if that's interesting. Sail foot. There's a big red screen. Data bank entry about a storage container. Okay, it's a bit awkward. There's another chest over there about the Echo sketch, which I'm guessing is the map. We get a Thresher Mark II for free. That's nice to see. Yeah, upgrade chip back here. The Hover Pack Flight 2. Actually, I'll check through the researches after this. Rail Rush 4. I feel like that's way way in advance because that's transportation. We have Rail Runner, Rail Rush 2, Rail Rush 3, and now Rail Rush 4. All of them unlocked.
I was never this deep in the hospital. This is a much bigger arm, obviously for some kind of unexpected major trauma. Believe it or not, seeing this is encouraging. It's a reminder that we had plans within plans for every kind of failure you can imagine.
We got them Smelter Mark IIs. That's going to be super useful. Hopefully these things take
All
power.
we gotta do is locate the giant robot arm version of what to do if the entire factory and everyone in it suddenly disappears.
You can scan this helmet.
Breaker, this facility has the tech we need to get you out of your suit. Maybe we can finally hear your voice and figure out who you are. Give me a second and I'll initiate the removal protocol. When a work suit is all that stands between you and being killed by pretty much everything, they make it a little more complicated than pulling on a zipper.
Suit removal denied. Security clearance Sigma.
Denied? We'll see about that. Colonel Paladin?
I'm sorry, Sergeant. Sigma is not a security clearance I possess.
Sir, how could that be possible? The only people who even outrank you are...
The only people who outrank me are not your concern. The Groundbreaker does not seem to be in danger or in pain. They are not disabled or impaired in their ability to construct the machines to meet our objectives. We are in no position to dwell on it. You will drop this matter.
Understood.
Rail Rush 2, Tool Belt 4. So I am some really special person, it looks like. With somebody with super high... I can scan this.
I know the vibe of a giant broken surgical arm seems sinister in an abandoned hospital. But what doesn't seem sinister in an abandoned hospital? These things were great. They could do checkups right through your suit.
That's cool. I believe this is where we came in. The scanner. Yes, I believe that this is where we came in. I wonder if I could place these on the water wheels that we have. So these are capable of producing 800 kilowatts. Am I reading that right? Holy crap. Alright, I have to see if I can place these on the water wheels. And yes, I realize I should be able to, but what I don't know is if, because I only have water wheels Mark 1, they won't work together, or it's not going to be strong enough, or something along those lines. But no, it looks like it's totally fine with doing this. I don't know if that's intended or not, but I am going to take advantage of it. Because that's way, way, way more power now. I mean, wait, it's 880 kilowatts because of the boost. But these are only producing 342. If I get rid of that, it produces 400. Okay, so these water wheels are not quite enough to allow these produce all the way. Maybe that's why these are having a discrepancy. So this is the Mark 1. Produces that quickly. Oh, okay. There's definitely a noticeable increase in the speed, but it is not as much as I wanted it to be, if I'm going to be completely honest. I wish it was faster. Of course, there is I have several sets of the mining upgrade speed. We have Mark 3 speed, and I think unlocking this also increased the speed. So hopefully when I get this smelter upgrade, it'll also increase the speed. But we are actually very close to getting the monorail system. But I think that will have to wait till next episode, guys. It's taken me a long time to get all of this extra production done, and it's taking just forever to continue to fuel all of these things. So progress is a little slower than I wanted, but it's still good nonetheless. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys did, please leave a like, it helps me out. And I will see you all in the next episode.